was in high school, I was thinking about being a doctor, and my mother knew that I wanted to be a doctor. And so she was working at the local bank, where she was someone that opened new accounts. And Dr. Morelli was an obstetrician gynecologist in my hometown, had a huge practice. Everybody knew Dr. Morelli. And he walked into the bank to open a new account, sat at my mother's desk, and my mother asked him, "My son wants to be a doctor. What kind of advice would you give my son to get into medical school and become that doctor he wants?" And what he said to her was, "Don't lose sight of your dream. You don't have to be an A student. You just have to always keep that dream in front of you and chase it until you get it." And then all of a sudden, here I am, applying to medical school, chasing my dream, and I get into medical school. I go to Tufts Medical School in Boston. I stay local because I was married at the time. As a matter of fact, I even had my first daughter, Sarah, in my first semester of medical school. So I was busy. I was doing a little of this, little of that, trying to tie it all together. So I knew that it was going to take a lot to piece this together and be the doctor that I wanted to be. And once I graduated from medical school, I wanted then to become an obstetrician, to deliver babies, to be a gynecologist and take care of women and their families. So I went and did a residency in obstetrics and gynecology, and after 4 years, after 120 to 140 hours a week in the hospital, I was expert at obstetrics and gynecology. And I came back to my hometown in Melrose, Massachusetts, and opened a practice. Actually took over the practice of Dr. Richard Morelli. So it was really kind of funny how it all came full circle, right back to that story with my mother getting that advice from him. But it was frustrating. It was busy. There was a lot to do, and I didn't have all the tools. And the most frustrating thing was I really wasn't feeling like I was helping people with their problems. Yes, I had great pharmacy. I can give them good drugs, medications. I could do great procedures for them to help them with their problems. But it was those chronic problems. They were asking me questions about the medications they were put on. They were asking me questions about them gaining weight and not being able to lose that weight after they were having their children. And I really didn't understand it all. I really couldn't help them. And I was seeing it happening in my own family, with my own parents, getting put on medications, lifetime medications that I knew they would never come off. And I really didn't understand what that was all about. So as I got more and more frustrated, the perfect storm was coming together. That's when I went and ventured out, thinking there was some other way to practice medicine. Didn't really know what I was looking for. Was it functional medicine? Was it integrative medicine? Was it some type of alternative medical practice? And that's when I found lifestyle medicine. I was able to meet some of the mentors that are mine now that were some of the original lifestyle medicine ambassadors, Dr. Esselstyn and Dr. Ornish and Dr. Katz, and they really influenced me on pursuing a practice of lifestyle medicine. And I can remember I was on an airplane going to Florida to see my son Nathan play baseball. Because you can't play baseball up in the Northeast in the spring. It's too cold, it's too windy. So they would always take a trip and start their seasons down south. So we're flying down to Florida, and I'm sitting on a plane and I'm reading The China Study by Colin Campbell, a nutritionist out of Cornell. And when I finished, I just plowed through that book in 3 hours. And when I finished that book, I usually, because I didn't travel with Pamela, my wife Pamela, I usually just, text her just to let her know I landed. And I can remember the day that I texted her when I got off that plane, we just became vegetarian. And I didn't really understand what all that meant, but I knew we needed a lifestyle change. I knew we had to be the people that could not just talk the talk, but that had to walk the walk so that we could help people change their lives too. And that was really the big aha moment for me that changed the way I practice today. In the old days, I had just a small set of tools that I could help people with. The things I learned in medical school, the things I learned in residency, how to be a good obstetrician gynecologist. What I didn't have is my new tool bag of lifestyle medicine. But going through some lifestyle medicine trainings, then being able to become board certified in lifestyle medicine really gave me that toolbox, really gave me the ability now that I can just, when patients talk to me about problems, I can give them ideas, whether it's a nutrition plan that I can write out on a prescription, or a fitness plan, or how to manage their stress, or even how to join or build communities of like-minded people so they all can come together and go on this journey together. Because there are some changes that everybody should make in their lifestyle in order to better not only their conditions that they might have, but even their energy level, even their vitality in life, to give them a better life. Right, part of the tools that I use is to give people information. And I used to write prescriptions for medications regularly for people that had ailments. And now, with some of the lifestyle ailments that they have, because they aren't really meeting the goals that they have, I'm able to then write prescriptions for lifestyle change. Nutrition, whether it's physical activity, whether it's stress management. And I use a sticky pad that I carry in my pocket, and I just write out all those. It might be just a few ideas for them to get started. Maybe even write down a few resources for them to then go and use, whether it's a book, or whether it's a website that they can then tune into. Maybe find some mentors themselves that they can latch onto, besides myself as being one of their go-to people. But I would put all those things on sticky notes and hand them to people. I've had patients even laminate some of those sticky notes, tell me that they put them up on their refrigerator and look at them every day to remind them of what they should be doing every single day in order to get that life that they really want. Yeah, I mean, it's all, the NutraMetrix community is all like-minded people, all supporting each other, all learning together. That's one of the things I really loved about the NutraMetrix system, is we're still learning together. We're learning more and more, even in the medical community, of how not just pharmaceuticals, but nutraceuticals can really make a difference in people's lives. And NutraMetrix brings the best of the nutraceuticals to make them available for patients for me to practice, for me to recommend. And so that's what I learned the most about NutraMetrix, was that NutraMetrix provided not just great products, but provided great community.